Hello ladies and gentlemen, Gear204 here bringing you another Minecraft modern vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the US Coast Guard's Response Boat-Medium. The Response Boat-Medium, known as the RBM, is a 45-foot or 14-meter utility boat used by the United States Coast Guard. It is a replacement for the Coast Guard's retired fleet of 41-foot, 12-meter utility boats, which had been in use by the Coast Guard since the 1970s. The ship itself basically has a total of 174 that are built. One of them was given to Canada, so Canada does actually operate one in part of its Coast Guard fleet as well. And there also are some variants of this boat that are also used for police purposes, a few of those being Seattle and New York that operate similar variants to this one. But this right here is the primary boat for the Coast Guard in terms of its basically quick response boats. And again has a fleet of 174 of these around the United States. So overall, it's a really cool ship and should make an awesome addition to any of your worlds if you're looking for some type of smaller kind of I guess attack craft or something like that. Though granted, this is definitely a multi-mission ship set, and not all of these are going to be armed to the teeth or anything like that. The version we have in front of us here does have 2 machine guns mounted on it. I'm not sure how many of those there really are out there in the Coast Guard. I did see some references for it, and I wanted to go ahead and do the machine gun version because I think it looks pretty sweet. However, you can obviously swap that out for, not having the machine guns and having it more of a search and rescue oriented role. There's a lot of things you can do with this ship, and there's not just one mission package. As I mentioned, this thing is a basically multi-mission vessel. So with that, before we go and jump in this build, I just want to say again congratulations to Miles for winning this commission. If you guys are interested in maybe taking a part of some of my giveaways I like to do on my channel community page, definitely feel free to take a look at that from time to time. I will be trying to post more of these giveaways, and Mouse won this build that he personally wanted, all because he just commented his favorite tutorial of the year, and I'll be posting stuff like that here and there where you guys can take advantage of it and hopefully maybe get luckily chosen to have your request done. So really, again, a big congrats to him, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this boat. I think it's a really cool, super unique idea, and I really do love it. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So as I mentioned, this is designed up in the US Coast Guard configuration, as you can tell by the orange. We do have the logo that would be right here in the front hull, and then also the hull number located there as well. So very small right there. It has a very drastically V-shaped hull, so as you can see, it's very V-shaped. We have the orange trim all the way around it, which definitely gives it that Coast Guard look. Up here in the bow of the ship, we also have the machine gun mounted. So based off some pictures and some references I found, they have an optional mount for a machine gun here. I imagine this is for more of like a law enforcement and border security type loadout. Would definitely have these, but you're definitely these ships could definitely have no machine guns and stuff like that on them. It all just kind of again depends on the mission loadout. We then have the cab, or the whole the superstructure of the ship. So you have the helm, all that stuff in there, and basically the whole inside there. Imagine where the crew can be inside and all that stuff. We then have the mass of the ship, all the different radio antennas and equipment and all that stuff on top here. On the back of the ship, we have the little life preservers, of course, can't forget those, and we have the second machine gun, and yeah, just some various different kind of rescue equipment also back here, little fire extinguisher and stuff like that. So definitely a pretty cool build, should be an awesome addition to any of your worlds. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our first layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer, we'll be going ahead and start with layer 1. For layer 1 to start with, we'll be going ahead and placing down a stone top slab. Now we do want to make sure we build this correctly in the water, so to make sure you build this correctly in the water, you're going to want to make sure that you sit the ship basically layer 1 block beneath the water surface. So this blue concrete here is representing that water level, and you can see where we're starting layer 1 right below it. So make sure you start at that point to go ahead and make sure your ship sits properly in the water. Anyways, after we have this stone top slab placed, we're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 20 stone full blocks back. We're going to go and then go to the sides. We're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 stone top slabs, and the same thing will be done over here on this side. So just like this all the way back. After that is all done there, we're going to go ahead and also grab ourselves an iron trapdoor, and we're going to place down an iron trapdoor like this to the sides on the back here. And that is all you need to do. So that right there is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 1. Pretty simple layer, and here's what it looks like from the top-down view. And with that, we'll be going ahead and jumping up to our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this stone top slab, and then we're going to place down a stone upside-down stair. We're going to go ahead and then build a second stone full block back, and on the sides of these 2 stone full blocks, we're going to place down some light gray stained glass panes. We're going to go ahead and go back from the glass panes, 1, 2, 3 more stone blocks. Same thing over here. And again, we're going to place down 2 light gray stained glass panes on the side of those 2 stone blocks. After that, we're going to go ahead and then go off these light gray stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stone blocks back. And we're going to do the same thing over here as well. So just like this all the way back. Then, once we get to this point on the back here, we're going to go ahead and fill in the middle space with a row of 3 of stone. And we also want to go ahead and place down a stone brick slab, or rather actually first a stone brick wall here. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a polished andesite slab coming off those walls. In the middle space here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a iron trapdoor. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor here and then a birchwood fence gate. We're going to open this fence gate toward the trapdoor. We're going to go ahead and then place down an end rod to both sides. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull coming off the side here of this fence gate. Unfortunately, if you are not on Java, if you're on any version, you won't be able to place down end rods and skulls in the water. If that's the case, you can go ahead and substitute these out need be. So you can go ahead and use end rods instead, and then use a different block there. So something you might have to play around with to get it work right. You can even use some walls here, but this right here is the best look for it, especially if you have this out of water. After that's all done, we're going to go ahead and also place down an iron trapdoor here to the sides of these stone brick walls. Once we have that done, we're going to go and take our stone top slabs, and we're going to go ahead and build a row of stone top slabs forward. We're going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we're going to stop at 14 stone top slabs. And then we want to go ahead and go to the second from the front top slab, and we're going to place down a row of iron trapdoors all the way along the side here, ending on that last stone top slab for a total of 13. Same thing is just going to be done over here to this side. So just go ahead and transfer the same thing over here. And that is going to basically finish off what we have there. And for me personally, I like to go ahead and fill the inside in here of the ship just to close this area off. You don't need to do this, but it is something that I personally like to do just to, close it off, have a little bit of consistency. But for me, I'm going to fill that in like that. It makes it a little bit easier for the tutorial too. So with layer 2 out of the way, we have a lot more of a view to look at. So this is going to be what it should look like from the top-down view with layer 2 all complete. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to start with, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this stone upside down stair, and we're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane coming off of it. On both sides of this stone block, we're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane, followed by a upside down polished black stone stair going back from those blocks. We also want to go ahead and place down an orange concrete block after that stair, and on the side of the orange concrete block, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame with some blue stained glass panes, and also, if you're on Java, a birchwood button. We're going to place down an item frame and blue stained glass pane, like that. If you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood button on the side of the block as well. Now, Java is the only version where you can place down signs, buttons, item frames inside the same block space. So if you are not on Java, you will not be able to do the extra features you can see here of the signs and the item frames, and also the button in the item frame. So you will have to go ahead and just place down the item frame and unfortunately disregard the sign. Not a big deal, doesn't really affect the build all that much. We're going to go ahead and place down a additional stone block that goes back like this, going back from the orange concrete, and then we're going to place down a stone upside down stair that's going to come off that block like this. Going back from the stone upside down stair, we're going to place down 2 more stone full blocks back, and we're going to go ahead and then take our smooth red sandstone, and we're going to place down 2 top slabs on the side of these 2 stone full blocks. So just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go back from the top slabs. We're going to place down 2 more stone blocks on both ends, and out to the side here, we're going to place down 2 smooth red sandstone top slabs as well. We then want to go ahead and take our orange concrete, and we're going to place down a row of orange concrete back. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 blocks back. And we're going to do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's going to bring us all the way back there. Now, once you have that done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves a red sandstone wall. We're going to place down a red sandstone wall and then an orange stained glass pane going back from that. We're going to place down 2 stone blocks here on this inside here next to those blocks like that. And then on this first block, we're just going to place down a row of stone that goes all the way across. On the very back here, we're going to take our deep slate. We're going to place down a row of 5 of deep slate across the middle. And then we want to go ahead and place down a tripwire hook to both ends. And we're going to go ahead and then place down end rods coming off these tripwire hooks in between them like that to go ahead and go across. In addition, we're going to go ahead and grab some polished black stone buttons, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons on the side here, these orange concrete blocks near the rear of the ship, to go ahead and represent where the U.S. Coast Guard will be written on the side of the ship. After that's all done, that's pretty much it for the main structure that we need to cover up. The inside here can all be just filled in. There is a small section here that is actually deep slate flooring. So for me, I personally am just going to go ahead and fill the whole inside in here of deep slate. However, you would only need it for that small section on the back here realistically. But I like to just go ahead and be consistent with the builds and just fill this in completely. Makes the tutorial a little bit easier in my opinion just to build off of a flat surface instead of trying to, you know, just build a shell of a vehicle. So we have this all filled in here. And this will basically complete what we have for layer number 3 of the build. So just like that, almost done. And just like that, I have that all filled in. So that is going to be everything we need to do here for this layer. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like, all complete. And we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 4. Layer 4, we have a bit more stuff going on here, a lot of detailing and stuff like that as we start to get into the actual deck and superstructure bits. So just, you know, make sure you pay close attention, everything like that, to what we're doing. To begin with, though, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone full block that's going to go on top of this glass pane. Now, coming off that stone full block, we're going to place down a red smooth sandstone top slab like this, and then a top slab to the sides here as well. We're going to go ahead and then go back from that top slab with an orange concrete block and then a deep slate tile full block there in the center. Now we're going to go ahead and then place down a orange stained glass pane to the side of these orange concrete blocks, and we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 more orange concrete blocks back from that orange stained glass pane. We're going to go ahead and then place down 2 rows of 3 of our polished deep slate across. Actually, sorry, my bad. It is going to be a stone brick stair here in the middle. So the second row here, we're going to have a stone brick stair, then a chisel block behind it, another stone brick stair to the side there of that chisel block, and then a stone brick stair here on the back. Now we're going to go ahead and then place down a deep slate block coming off these stairs here to the sides, and then 2 more like that in between coming off the sides of the stairs. We're going to go ahead and also place down 2 orange concrete blocks here, same thing over here, and then an orange stained glass pane here in the corners, just like that. Going ahead and continuing on, we're going to go ahead and take our pistons, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row of pistons all the way across the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if you don't have access to the debug stick on Java, instead of pistons, I would recommend going ahead and substituting this whole area out for slabs. Unfortunately, you're not going to get as good of a front slope as you can see on that version over there. So it's going to be a little less accurate, but realistically, slabs are pretty much your only option here. So I'd recommend for the middle blocks here, going ahead and using your slabs of the polished deep slate, or just the normal deep slate going all the way across. And then on the sides here, I would recommend going ahead and using stone or even smooth sandstone. So I'd probably do smooth sandstone slabs like this if you had an alternative, and then I would be carrying on stone slabs all the way back. And then obviously the middle there being the deep slate. Anyways, though, after that's done, we're going to take our stone. We're going to place down another row of 3 going across here of stone, then a second row, and then a third row, and then 4. So it's just going to kind of fill this middle space in like that. We'll go ahead and also grab ourselves some andesite walls, and we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 andesite walls, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3. Now we want to go and then take our pistons. We're going to go ahead and build 1, 2, 3 pistons here. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So just like that going back. Now, after we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves some signs. We're going to go ahead and take some acacia wood signs, and we're going to place down an acacia wood sign there on these first 3 pistons, and then a birchwood sign on the last one. So, same thing over here on this side. Just like that going back. Now, once that's all done there, we're going to go ahead and then take our stone slabs. We're going to build 1, 2, 3 stone slabs back. 1, 2, 3. And we want to go ahead and again take our deep slate tile slabs. We're going to build 3 back along the sides. This middle space here, we're going to go ahead and place down another row of 3 of stone, and we're going to go ahead and then follow this up with a anvil that's going to sit on both sides here. We're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 5 of stone across, and this will be accompanied with a second row of 5, and we have 3, 4, 5, and 6 rows going back like that. And actually, this 6th row, so this very last row here, the middle block is actually going to be a polished andesite block. So just make sure you go and swap that out. After that's done, though, we're going to go ahead and then take some oak or some petrified oak slabs. We're going to place down basically 4 rows of 2 along the side here. Same thing will be done over here on this side as well. And we're going to go ahead and take our item frames right along the side here of those slabs. So just like this. And in those item frames, we're going to place down some black beds. So we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 black beds sideways, and same thing will be done over here on this side as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and then take the time to grab my birchwood signs and just place my birchwood signs here again on the sides here if you're on Java. So again, the signs here are going to be a Java only feature. But again, you guys can go ahead and build this without the signs and get the same effect. So just doing the same thing here on the sides. So just like that. Now once that's all done, we want to go ahead and then take our stone. We're going to place down 2 stone slabs back on the sides there. And we're going to go and then take our deep slate and place down 2 deep slate slabs going back from that. We're going to go and then place down 2 andesite walls here to the sides, then a stone slab in the very middle. And then going back from that stone slab, we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull, a stone brick slab, another skeleton skull on this side, and then a skeleton skull to these 2 sides here. We're going to go ahead and then take our deep slate slabs. We're going to build 2 slabs out to the sides, or rather actually, sorry, 3 slabs out to the sides. And this can be followed up with a stone brick wall to either end. After that, we're going to place down a stone slab back, and then again 2 deep slate slabs over, another stone brick wall to both sides here, and then 3 deep slate slabs across on both sides. Now, once we get to this section here, we're going to go and take our stone, and we're going to build a row of 3 of stone full blocks, and then a second row of 3 directly behind it. To the sides, we're going to place down a stone slab after those walls, and then we're going to place down our 2 deep slate slabs like that on either side. And it's actually right here is going to change a little bit depending on what you do. So over here on the left side, we're going to have a red concrete block. Over here on the right side, it's just going to be a slab. So just keep that in mind. There are going to be a few little minor differences depending on which side you're building on. Then on the left side here, to finish this off, we're going to place down a stone brick wall, a stone brick stair, and we want to go ahead and finish this off with a deep slate slab like this on the back. Rather, actually, I'm going to change this to a stone slab. So we're going to go and do something like that on the back there. We're also going to go ahead and place down a gray carpet on top of this stone block. Now over here on this side, it's going to be slightly different. We're going to place down a stone brick wall, and we're going to go and place down our stone brick stair. Except this time, we're going to be going ahead and placing down an anvil that's going to sit behind the stair. So we're not going to have a slab, we're going to have an anvil like that. And of course, our gray carpet on top of the stone block like that. We're also going to place down a tripwire hook on these 2 stone blocks here, and then a end rod that's going to go across between them, just like that. After that's all done, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have here for this layer. I think I got everything. I don't think I missed anything. Just trying to verify and make sure. But everything does appear good on my end, so I'm going to go ahead and call layer 4 here good. Layer 4 is probably going to be our longest layer, as we do have quite a bit we're doing here in terms of structuring, but this right here is what it should look like for the top-down view. Now, real quickly, if you are on Java, we can go ahead and type the command in /give @p Minecraft. If I can spell Minecraft right. /debug_stick. So this command here, press enter, will give you this glowing stick. What we need to do here is we need to go ahead and then go these pistons, and we need to go ahead and right click them. So we left click, select the extended false, and then we can go ahead and right click these all and get rid of that wood portion. As you'll see, when we take a step back, it really helps with the shaping of the deck and gives us that good accurate shape to get the ship bow correct. So again, that's going to be a Java really only feature, unfortunately, but if you're on other versions, you can use slabs as the alternative. With that though, that's going to complete everything we have for layer number 4, and we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, layer number 5. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to start with, we're going to go ahead and place down a red smooth sandstone slab here, and same thing on these 2 blocks like that to the sides. In the middle here, we're going to place down a stone slab and then a deep slate tile block like that. We're going to go ahead and then place down an end rod on these 2 glass panes on both sides, and we're also going to place down an end rod on top of this orange concrete block here. Now we want to go ahead and then take our iron trapdoors. We're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors like this, and then 1 right here. Same thing over here, just like that. And if you are interested in building the machine gun, you will also place down a end rod here, and then an end rod to both sides on those 2 stairs there. Those will be the legs for the tripod of the machine gun, but again, that is only if you plan on building the machine gun. Next, we're going to go and go back to this section here. We're going to place down an end rod to both sides. The middle here, we're going to place down a deep slate slab and then a stone block to both sides. We'll take a skeleton skull, and we're going to place down a skeleton skull. That's going to be at a slight angle like that to both sides. And we then want to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of stone full blocks across this space here. Now on the ends of that row of 3, we're going to go ahead and place down a light gray stained glass pane to both sides, and then we're going to place down another row of 3 of stone, this time with an andesite wall to both ends. Once we get to this point, we're going to go and take our stone blocks, and we're just going to go ahead and do a row of 5 across, then a second row of 5. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the back here, we're going to place down 1 more polished andesite block and then 2 stone blocks to both sides. We're also going to go ahead and place down 2 more andesite walls that go up like that along the side there as well. Once that's all done there, we're going to go ahead and then go to our rails back here, and we're going to go ahead and place down end rods. They're going to go ahead and sit on top of each one of these stone brick walls and these stone brick stairs. So we're just going to go ahead and basically stack this up 1. And then we're going to go ahead and place down end rods between these, so like that. And then right here, we're going to have an end rod. And then over here on this side, we're going to have our end rods like this. And we're not going to place down an end rod where this anvil is going to be. We're going to go ahead and then place down a andesite wall that's going to be on top of this stone brick. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a stone slabs around it like so. As well as we're going to take some birchwood signs. So I'll grab some of those as well. And we're going to place down 3 birchwood signs across the side of those slabs there like that. Now on top of the anvil, we're going to go ahead and also grab ourselves a block of iron, and we're going to place down a block of iron on the anvil. We're going to take iron trapdoors, place an iron trapdoor on top and the sides, and we can use our debug stick by left clicking this till we get selected open, false, right click these, set these to true so they lay flat against the side of the block. If you are not in Java and don't have access to the debug stick, instead of the iron trapdoors, you could use birchwood trapdoors as an alternative. Those will work just fine. With that though, that's going to wrap up what we have there for that, and some of the final things we have to do here for this layer is going back up here to the near bow of the ship. We're going to place down an item frame on the side of this wall, and in that item frame we're going to place down a black bed sideways, and we're also going to place down a birchwood sign on the side here as well, again if you're on Java. Same thing over here, just like that. And that right there is going to wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, but everything does appear to be good. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like so far. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, which will be layer number 6. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to start with, we are going to be going ahead and first starting off with these rails up here. Now, again, depending on what version you're on, it's going to kind of depend on what you guys do here. So if you are not on Java, I'd recommend on top of these end rods, just going ahead and placing down a skeleton skull. So that's what I'd recommend. If you are on Java, I'd recommend going ahead and placing down a block that's going to be up and right next to these end rods like that. We're going to go ahead and then place down a lever on the sides of the blocks, and then we're going to go and use our debug stick here by left clicking the lever till we get selected face, right clicking it, saying to the floor, and these should face basically toward each other. And we'll be doing the same thing over here on the other side as well. So I'm just going to go and do that over here like that. And you'll see here that we get some really nice looks for the rails. Definitely kind of matches the overall shape and diameter. And then we're just going to place down end rods following the outline of the trapdoors we built in the previous layer, connecting those levers together. So that's just going to form up the railings there. Now, again, if you want to build your machine gun, for the machine gun mount itself, we're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence gate. That's going to go up in the middle here from those end rods. We're going to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull to these sides here, and then also a skeleton skull coming off the front here. We'll go ahead and open that fence gate toward that forward skeleton skull, and that'll be the mount that our machine gun is going to sit on. After that, we're going to go ahead and also place down another skeleton skull. That's going to be at about a slight angle here on top of these end rods. So you don't want it at like a super drastic angle, but just a slight one like that. We're going to go ahead and then place down an end rod to the side of it, going back. So again, just like that. And then we're going to place down another skeleton skull that's going to be sitting on top of, or actually out from this glass pane. So it's going to be kind of out like this to the side. And realistically, the best thing to do here is we'll have to take our debug stick, we'll right click that piston there so we don't mess up all of our pistons. We're going to place down a block, and we're going to place down a skeleton skull at a slight angle like this as well. So trying to kind of form a curve type shape there. We can delete those blocks underneath those skeleton skulls, and then we can go ahead and fix our piston there. Going back from the skeleton skulls, we're going to place down an end rod to both sides. Now once we get to this point, we're going to place down a black stained glass block that's going to be right here in the center space, and then a black stained glass pane coming off of it. To the sides of it, we're going to go ahead and also place down a nether brick wall, and then we want to go ahead and place down a black stained glass block going back from the nether brick walls, and then we're going to place down a andesite wall out to the sides from there. We're also going to go ahead and take the time to grab some black concrete, as we'll be going ahead and using black concrete to fill the insides in of the superstructure. So we're going to place down a black concrete block there, and then a row of 3, and then a black stained glass block on both ends of that row of 3. Again, we're not doing interior for this ship, so we're just going to go ahead and fill this thing completely solid. Now, once we get to this point, again, another feature on Java, we can go ahead and place down a tripwire hook coming off the side of the walls. So we'll achieve this by placing down a tripwire hook like this, coming off a block, and we'll use our debug stick here, left click it to get selected facing, and we're just going to go ahead and rotate this around till it comes off that wall. So really simple like that. And an alternative to this could be to use a skeleton skull coming off the side there. After that, we're going to take our stone, we're going to place down a row of 5 of stone across. This is going to be followed with an end rod that's going to come off this tripwire hook, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a tripwire hook on the sides of the stone blocks. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 black stained glass blocks to the sides here, and then we're going to place down 2 rows of 3 of black concrete in the middle here. We're going to place down another row of stone across, another polished andesite block in the center, and then we're going to place down our black concrete like this to the sides, black stained glass here to the sides, and then we're going to go ahead and place down black stained glass panes. So we're going to place down 1, 2, and 1, 2 like that on the back here. After that is all done, on the very back section here of the ship, we're going to go ahead and take our light gray carpet, and we're just going to place it down on top of the end rods all the way around, and also across these slabs. If you do plan on putting the machine gun on the back here of the ship, we will want to go ahead and get rid of that carpet, as we'll be going ahead and having the machine gun there. But if you don't plan on putting the machine gun on, you can go ahead and just leave that. You can go ahead and completely bring that carpet all the way across. But that right there is what it should look like. And to go ahead and kind of continue this railing here, we're going to place down a tripwire hook here and here. And again, we're going to have end rods in between them. So same thing will be done over here on this side as well, like this, and of course the end rods in between them. So that right there is going to finish that off like that. Now in the very back here, we do have our first machine gun. So for this, we're going to grab some deep slate, some end rods, a chain, a zombie head, dark oak with signs, a item frame, and a black bed. So for this, the machine gun, we're going to place down a deep slate tile slab here. 1 slab back from that, we're going to place down a zombie head that's going to be on the left side. So looking at the gun like this, it's going to be on the left side like that. Dark oak with signs around this slab here on the back. A item frame on this side, black bed sideways on it, and a dark oak with sign on the side of the slab, again if you're on Java. And then we're going to place down an end rod and a chain going forward like that to go ahead and create the machine gun. And honestly, we can just go ahead and build the front one as well. Real quick before we do that, we do need to add on a lever. And there is going to be a lever on the bottom of the slab here. For the machine gun in the front, we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing. So we have a deep slate slab, second slab back, a lever on the bottom of that slab, zombie head to this side, dark oak with signs around the slab like so. Then we have our item frame, black bed sideways, dark oak with sign, end rod, and chain like that to go ahead and finish it off. So we have the machine guns now put in place, so those are all done and good to go, and that's what we should have so far. With that, let's go ahead and move on to our next layer, which will be layer number 6. Moving into our next layer, we're actually going ahead and moving on to layer 7. So for layer 7, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a black stained glass block on top of here, and then one block to both sides. We then want to place down another brick wall here on top of that glass pane, and a wither skeleton skull come off the sides of these blocks, like this on the sides. We then want to take our black stained glass. We're going to place down a black stained glass block to both sides. You may have the issue here where your tripwire hook actually pops off. If that's the case, just go ahead and make sure you replace it. I'm not going to show that real quick. I'll take care of that later, but just make sure you replace that tripwire hook if it does break off. We're going to go then place down a row of 3 of black concrete, and then a second row of 3 with a black stained glass block on both ends, like that. We're taking our stone. We're going to place down a row of 5 of stone across. And again, we're going to place down 2 rows of 3 of black concrete, 2 black stained glass blocks on both ends, another row of 5 of stone, and this is going to be followed up with a polished andesite block here on the back, black concrete like this, black stained glass block, and then we're going to place down 2 nether brick walls across the back there, like that. On this middle, or on this polished andesite block here, we're going to be going ahead and placing down this black banner. Now, this black banner is really simple to make. It's just a black banner with a light gray border. I'm not going to show you guys how to make it in a loom because it's pretty self-explanatory, but that is what you're going to go and put on the back there for the rear window. Once you have that all done there, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 7 of the build. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, and should be good to go. So again, here's a top-down view of what that should look like. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, which will be layer number 8. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer 8. Layer 8, we have a bit more going on here, so it's going to be a bit of a more involved layer, but really nothing too crazy. To get started with here, we're going to place down a anvil that's going to go on top of this skeleton skull here, and then we're going to go and take our daylight detectors and place down a row of 3 across and turn those all to night mode. On the other side over here, right side, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor, and we're also going to place down an iron trapdoor on this wall here in the center. We then want to place down a nether brick wall on top of this wither skeleton skull, and then a second wall up, and then an iron bar on top there to go and finish it off. We're also going to place down a birchwood fence gate here, and we're going to open that fence gate toward the front of the build like this, an item frame, a white bed rotated sideways, and then a birchwood sign on the side of that fence gate. So just like that. Once that's all done, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished, or just a deep slate tile slab that's going to be here in the middle. And then again, for my Java players, we'll be going ahead and using pistons. If you're not on Java, I'd recommend a stair. So let me go ahead and grab a deep slate stair just to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. But this is what I recommend here, a deep slate tile stair instead. But for us on Java, we'll place down a piston. We're going to go ahead and place down a stone slab that's going to go to the sides here of that slab. And then one more piston out to the sides here. Again, you can use stone stairs as an alternative to that. So again, just kind of do whatever you feel looks best here. Then we're going to place down a daylight detector to the sides, again turn it to that night mode, and then a stone slab to both sides of those pistons. Now on the sides of these stone slabs, we're going to place down item frames. We're going to go ahead and need a blue and red bed. And depending on the side of the ship, you're going to go ahead and place down a blue bed on one side, so the blue bed is going to be on the right side, rotated so the pillows aim downwards. And on the other side here, we're going to have a red bed, again pillow facing downwards, and birchwood signs on the side of the slabs if you can, for the emergency lights. Then once we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and take our stone, or first our deep slate. We're going to place down a deep slate block here, and then we're going to build 1, 2, 3, and 4 stone blocks back, and then a stone top slab. Along the sides here, we're going to take our pistons. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pistons. Again, you can be using stone stairs here. So for example, we have normal stone stairs. We can just do a row of stone brick stairs like that across, or regular stone stairs would be what you would want to use. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing with our pistons going all the way back. Now, once that's all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a stone brick wall that is going to be on top of these blocks here. And just to get them out of the way, so we don't have to worry about it later, for the tops of the stone brick walls on the left side, we're going to place down 2 end rods up. The other side here, we're going to place down 2 end rods and then 2 iron bars. So a little difference there on the side, so make sure you take that into account. Then we're going to go ahead and place down 2 more stone slabs, or rather actually, sorry, 4 more stone slabs along the sides here, going back from the stone brick walls. A item frame on the side of this stone slab here. So just like that to both sides. In that item frame, we're going to go ahead and place down a white bed, rotated sideways, and a birchwood sign on the side there as well. Same thing will be done over here on this side as well, just like that. After that's all done, we want to go ahead and then place down a stone brick wall that's going to go on top of, or next to these slabs like that. And we are going to go ahead and then place down 2 end rods on this side, and then 2 iron bars up. And on the other side here, we're going to place down another brick fence post. And we're going to go ahead and then go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 iron bars. So like that for that rear radio antenna. And after we have that all done, that is going to wrap up everything we have for that. We're going to go ahead and leave the pistons as they are for right now. We'll be modifying them later. But with that, that's going to bring us to our last final layers of the build. So we'll be going ahead and now moving on, just building the final mast, building that up and getting that situated. And with that, we'll be done with the build. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our last final layers. Alright guys, so moving into our final layers, we have layers 9 through 17. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a stone slab that's going to sit on top of this second stone block right there in the middle here, and then we're going to place down 3 more stone blocks back. We're going to place down an item frame to both sides of this stone block, the first one, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a white concrete block in the item frames. So just like that, with a birchwood sign on the side there as well, again, if you're on Java. Then after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an anvil, and we're going to place down an anvil that's going to go ahead and go on top of this stone block here. And we're going to place down birchwood signs around the sides of the anvil. So just like this all the way around. And then on top of it, we're going to go and grab some quartz slabs, and we're just going to place down a row 3 of quartz slabs. So like that. Then once we have that done, we're going to place down a stone brick wall that's going to go on top of this stone block there, and that'll be followed up with a stone brick stair on top of it. Coming off the stone brick stair, we're going to place down an item frame. In that item frame, we want to go ahead and place down a white bed. We're going to have this sideways, and then a birchwood sign. On top of that, we're going to place down a stone brick wall, and to the side of the stone brick stair over here on the left side, we're going to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor. So to the side here, and then we're going to have an anvil on top of this iron bar, or this iron trapdoor. We're going to go then place down an item frame, and in that item frame, we want to go ahead and place down a black bed. So black bed, rotated so the pillow is facing downwards, and again a birchwood sign on the side of the anvil if you're on Java. After we have that done, on the other side here, we're actually going to go ahead and swap out the stone brick wall for a stone brick upside down stair, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a stone brick top slab here to the side. We're going to go ahead and then place down another stone brick wall that goes up like this, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a polished andesite top slab to the left side of the mast here, an item frame, and we're going to go ahead and place down a snowball in the item frame like that. And also a skeleton skull that's going to go on the back here. So we'll go ahead and grab one of those, and we're going to place down a skeleton skull on the back. After that, we're going to place down 2 more polished andesite blocks here, and then we're going to go ahead and build up 1 and 2 stone brick walls. Now also on this side over here, we're going to place down an end rod on top of that, and after that, we're going to have a flower pot like that. We're also going to place down an item frame on the side of this block here, a white bed rotated sideways, and a birchwood sign, again if you're on Java. Then up on top here, we're going to place down another skeleton skull on the very top of your walls. And then we're going to go and grab a birchwood fence gate. And we're going to place down a fence gate to the sides here. So fence gate here, open it up toward the wall, fence gate over here. And then we're going to place down iron bars coming off the sides of the fence gate. And we're going to go and then go 1 up for each of these iron bars. And then we want to go and go 1 down. So just like this for each one. And once you have that all done there, that's going to complete the top of the mast. And with that, that's going to wrap up what we have for the final layers. And the last thing we have to do here is to go ahead and grab our debug stick. So again, using the same command we did before, we'll use our debug stick, and we'll go ahead and right click these pistons like that to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion all the way around the top here of the boat. With that all done though, that is going to wrap up everything we have here for my tutorial for the Response Boat-Medium for the US Coast Guard. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do abuse this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be a thing from the side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this doesn't for your social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to for projects you guys are working on. Again, congratulations to Miles for making, or for winning the contest and getting this commission built for him. And definitely feel free to check out my community tab for more updates and more chances to win. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.